Hi all. Each and every Angular application consumes a huge amount of disk space via one single folder called Node modules. Based on the application, it may be 600 MB or 1.5 GB. So it takes up large of disk space. How we are going to solve this issue? In this video, you will be looking after. Hi all, I am Lakshman. As a part of our Angular best practice series, today we are going to see how to develop our Angular application inside Docker container. The steps we are going to follow is number one, we will be checking all our prerequisites. Number two, we will be Dockerizing our application. And number three, we will be working our Angular application inside Docker container. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Let us see our prerequisites. Number one, Node.JS, either is LTS version or current version. Number two, it's Angular CLI. If you already installed, it's okay. If you are new, kindly install via this command npm install -g at Angular CLI. And with ng new, you can create your first Angular project. And next, you need to install Docker. Based on your environment, kindly install it. For the code editor purpose, I prefer you all to use Visual Studio Code because we will be using an extension called remote container, which is a part of a Visual Studio Code to connect our container inside our Visual Studio Code to work. So these are all our prerequisites. Let's move on to our next step, which is Dockerizing our app. For Dockerizing our Angular application, I have already created a blog which is called Dockerizing Angular Application for Dev, and there was a video in this Angular best practice series called Dockerizing Angular App for Dev. I prefer you to view that video, and in the short I will explain you. There was a file called Docker file. It will be available. I will be posting this file's URL in the description below. You need to copy and paste it here. Once this is done, there was a command called docker md5, and you just need to copy it and need to paste it here, which builds my Angular application and inside Docker. It creates a Docker image. Let it get done. In the meanwhile, we'll copy the next command, which is for me to execute the Docker, which creates the container for me to work inside it. So I have already pre-built this image in my Docker's library. If you are going to do this for the first time, it will take a time. Kindly be patient and let it progress. Once this is done, you need to copy paste it, that Docker run, and I need the internal terminal, and once the command is stopped, it will be removing with the port, and this is the file mapping which I am done. This is the main part which is required to work inside Docker. So let us run this. It will kickstart our progress and it will start serving our files inside Docker. Let's be patient and wait for some time and give some time to get it loaded. Now my application is got compiled and it is running in the port called 9001. Let us go and check whether it is running. Localhost 9001. So our application is got started and it is actually working, which is inside our container. So on the next step, what we will be doing is we will be taking the container inside our Visual Studio Code and we will be doing some code editing in it. This is my container which is running via this command, which is Angular practices web app. This is running in the port of 9001, and this is my container. What first you need to do is you need to install the remote container extension in your Visual Studio Code, which is this remote container. This is the extension. I have already installed it. If you install it, you will be able to get an option like open remote window. Click here, and there will be some two options here because I already installed remote WSL, so I'm getting this option, and these are the options for the container. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click attach to the running container. If we click this, the current running container is my ng Angular practices. So you see, this is the container. Once you click it, it will open up a new Visual Studio Code. Let us expand this. And it will start getting all my files into this terminal. You can see there was a prompt called starting dev container, and it will, for initial, it will take up pretty much time, which means around 2 to 3 minutes. Just kindly be patient. And once this setup is done, if you're not able to view this folder structure, there will be some option called open new folder. If you right click open new folder in this options, you will able to get the prompt here where you need to go to the directory which we located. If you remember, in the Docker file there was a directory we are creating user source app. This directory will be available inside this Docker. You can see there was source, user, source, and app, and you can see there was a node version there, npm version there. All the informations will be available. So we're not going to run anything here. What we are going to do is, the application is already running. Let's do some code changes. There was hello component.html. One of the biggest advantage of using and via containerization is you won't need to avail the or node models in your base. It is inside your container. It is enough. So let us make some code changes here. Let me copy this, paste it here, title, change the end, container. This is pretty much easy and straightforward. Vice versa, which means the command which we run here to map our location right. Remember, we are mounting our current source directory into this directory, which is user source app source, which indicates this is the source. If there was any changes, code make changes available, it will affect here. If you see, I didn't make any changes in this folder, but the code is got updated. Change it in container, and you can see here hello model, change it in container, and it helps us to make all the code modifications and inside the container. Once we are finished with it, we can come here and we can do some code commits and code execution. The only exceptional thing here is if we need to add any new packages inside our application, whatever is available inside the source code, only it will be mapping here. Other than that, all other files will be exist here. Whatever the changes available made it here, you need to make sure it's required to be replicated here, which means if you're going to need any new package or npm packages you need to install here, and you need to build the Angular dev image and you need to rerun it. If you want your container to be running every time, just kindly remove this command, because if I stop this command here, the container will be getting removed. So let us do some other code changes here, and instead of getting it here, is string equal to specified save all. It will still update here, and instead of 1 it will be like 2 here. And it decreases your npm packages, which is node modules directory file, which is not required, which is inside a Docker container. So that wrap ups here. By this you can able to work totally in the container instead of your actual code base. Once you initialize this, run these commands, the Docker image will be available. You can anywhere open it in any containerization option, and you can start working. Whatever the code changes which you done inside the container will be replicated here. So it makes developers' lives very easy, and it is very easy so that you can able to solve a lot of dependencies not for node models. With developing inside Docker, we are able to solve one of the two main issues. One, it's dependencies. One more is the file storage, because as defaultly node dependent models gets up to 600 MB to 1.5 GB based on the node model packages. So it able to solve our file storage issue and our node model issue, and we can able to diagnose how will our application react when we deploy as a Docker container to any container instance or any Kubernetes services. That comes to the wrap of this video, and if it is helpful for you, please subscribe to the channel and please have a notification bell on, so we will be posting each and every week a new video. Until then, I am Lakshman. Peace out.